up, Corbin Miller? I am going to ride Argyle on Sunday. Carrie's watching. Yeah, I'm gonna ride Argyle on Sunday. So, if you watch my videos and stuff, you know Nick and Brenna, the Van Eddas. Nick's racing sprint cars at Dixon on Sunday, and we're gonna stay the night in the toy hauler. And we're gonna ride Argyle on Sunday. Really excited. Argyle had some changes, and I've only ridden Argyle one time since I broke my leg, so pretty excited about that. Just getting the bike ready. So gonna do some brake pad changes right now. I already did the rear, but I thought about sprint cars are so fun. So is Argyle. Yeah, I've obviously never done. Hang on. I never done sprint cars. When I was a kid, I used to race go-karts, though. Actually, also in Dixon, right across the pond, if you're ridden the motocross track, the road race course, I never raced there, but I practiced there. I did a lot of racing at Prairie City. But yeah, I had no intention of getting in a sprint car whatsoever, but my buddy's doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So I go there and help him out. So I would love to learn how to work on the cars and stuff and kind of just be his little pit mechanic. That'd be pretty cool. That's good enough for me. I don't want to race. I've seen them wreck, and when they wreck, they just get destroyed, and I can't afford that. So, but yeah, so did a rear brake pad change already, and I've never done it before. I actually just kind of spread the pads apart and did it without even taking the wheel off. It took me like 5 minutes. It was so quick and so easy that I might just redo it to show people. So even though there's just you watching right now, I'll probably post it. So that way I have a little bit more content on my channel. So, but I am going to do the front brake pads right now. So I already got the little cover loose because sometimes these get stuck and you have to put some heat to them, or you strip them out. And that's never any good. And with the front, I'm actually going to take the caliper off. I'm not going to remove the wheel. You couldn't do it that way, but I'll just take the caliper off. So I got to get my T-handle. It's a 10 millimeter, not a 12. And then if you didn't know, my front brake rotor is aftermarket. It's not an OEM one because almost 1 year ago, like to the week, Dolan and I decided to trade bikes. I was riding his 250 four-stroke. He was riding this bike, and a guy got all out of control on the freeway section and took Dolan out, and the rotor took the brunt of the impact, and it bent the rotor. It bent my bars. I don't really know what else it did, but the rotor and the bars was enough to make the bike not rideable for the day and the next week. So I raced Dolan's bike. That's also on that's also a YouTube video. But yeah, so Dolan helped me out financially a little bit. He helped pay for the rotor. He didn't pay for the whole thing, but we kind of split the cost. And I got a bitchin'. It's a non-floating. It's a solid rotor, which I prefer instead of the floating, which is the floating will help cool because it's two pieces. But the solid rotor is more responsive, and it's 10 millimeters bigger, so it's an oversized one. So it came with that bracket too. So basically, I upgraded it because I needed to replace it. And I am an idiot. I should have broke this loose with the thing before with the Allen wrench, before I took the 212 millimeters off. But see, hold it. Oh, perfect. Oops, fumble. Okay, pins out. Pins going in my little Harbor Freight chair here. It's got a little tray. What's up? Old pads are out. No, I'm not racing Triple Crown. Well, I might, but it's my chances are very slim. I got a new job recently, so I really don't want to take Friday off for practice to go to Oatfield. But if Dolan wants to, I might just go race Triple Crown. I have no problem getting to Argyle. I have no problem getting to MMX all on my own with my truck. But I do have a problem going to Oatfield. That's a little too far that I'm comfortable with my truck. So I kind of depend on getting a ride from Dolan. But I still might not do it. I don't know. But anyway, something a little bit different about these pads is these are not stock pads. Well, they are stock pads. These are not Yamaha pads. These are OEM pads from a different manufacturer. They're not terrible. They're a little bit worn. The rear brake pads were pretty bad, so I replaced them, but I also bought the fronts. But yeah, these are not from the same manufacturer. They are from sorry. They're Honda. 450 class and not 250. Hell yeah, brother. I would also be riding the 450 and 250 class on the 250 two-stroke. So, I usually I ride the vet class, but if I do need to run with the C class, I'll always pick the 250. No, sorry, the 450 over the 250 because I feel it's just a little bit mellow, more mellow in the 450 one. Yeah, so I on my Yamaha, I run Honda brake pads because they're better. These are OEM 2008. They probably keep going to the newer models, but I know 08 fits. So, yeah, 2008 OEM Honda brake pads. I don't have any Yamaha ones because I've gone through 3 sets of these, but the Yamaha ones are not as big and they're solid. They don't have these little reliefs in them. And well, let's face it. I've been riding a lot of 450s lately. I have a little bit of interest in maybe getting a 450, probably preferably KX. And these new bikes, their brakes are amazing. Even I get on my bike with all the aftermarket stuff, I'm like, it doesn't stop so good. So, but this helps a ton. One thing that I used to do is I would have to modify the bottom of them, and I'll show you. But I'm not gonna have to do that anymore, and I'll show you why. The bottom of these 08s are completely flat. Now these are the same exact brake pads. They're just my used ones, and they have a notch in them. I took a cutoff wheel and I put this notch in because the Yamaha, it has, let me see if it even says it on the part. Let me open it because I don't really know what the part is called off the top of my head. It's it holds it down. Oh, hang on, Corbin. Man, your name seems familiar. I think you're a fast kid, Corbin Miller. All right, so this is like it holds the brake pads in place. See how that's flat? See how that's flat? There's no problem there. Well, on the OEM Yamahas, see how there's kind of a notch here? That's the bottom. But the top, where it's flat, on the Yamaha has a little notch right there. So what I did is, when I originally did it, is I took, get the same size pad. I took the OEM Yamaha pad, I put it up against there, then I drew Sharpie there, and I cut the notch in the Honda pad. But then I came to realize that this is the same exact part, or well, it fits exactly the same on Yamahas. So that's what I'm going to do, so I don't have to do any more cutting, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain it the greatest. YouTube scams. So, actually, everything that I'm explaining, I could just pop this one off. I'll show you. Let me get a little pick. I have a flat head. Make sure nothing's in my lap. Got my pick. This should work fine. This down, and it's the little I don't know exactly what it's called. Boom. So almost fell off my chair. Here's the Honda one, completely flat. Actually, I use my pick as a pointer. The Yamaha one, see, I did that notch, and I also kind of ground that down. You see that there? I filed it down as best as I could, but I didn't want to mess it up. But I also decided to buy, I figured if the pads would fit, this guide or whatever it's called would also fit, and it does. I did it on my 125, but I haven't had to replace my pads on my 250. So, if you have a current Yamaha, buy at least 2008. That's what I've been buying. I bought it 3 times now. 2008 CRF 450 brake pads, and also, God, I wish I knew what this was called. It's the clip that holds it. So, they will both fit your bike. I'll put it in right now. That's the old one. This is the Honda stuff. Yeah, I'm wearing a Capital Yamaha shirt. Thank you, Peter Brown. I needed more XL shirts because large just doesn't fit me anymore. And he gave it to me. So, sweet. Thank you, Peter. All right. So now, it'll only go one way. Your thing will show you. Your it's getting late. I get up at 5 a.m. to go to work, so I'm starting to get a little tired. Your brake hanger, just match it up. My fingers aren't quite small enough to push it in. because it's bent, so it'll once it clicks in, it'll stay. So you kind of got to pull it over. Oops. Come on. Either that or the Honda one really doesn't fit, but I know it fits because I already have one on my 125. Betcha. If I push that over, let's get a little bit more room. Okay, so that's there. Which I still can't get my finger in there. Do that. Get my pick. Pull it over. Yeah, perfect. All right, so I have a laptop because I have to have 1,000 subscribers to go mobile or to go live on my mobile phone. So you're not, yeah, it's not going to work. I can't use my laptop. But anyway, I got that deal in there. It'll only go one way. And now for my brake pads. Where'd they go? Seriously, did I just lose my brake pads? I had 4 of them. I set them down. Oh, there they are on the stand. So now there's no need for the notch that you see there. Here's a new one without a notch. Honda stuff going on the Yamaha. And they'll only go in one way. Blink. And like that. This one will go in like that. You kind of got to hold them in place. Then, that's fine because I forgot to do something. Put the tiniest amount of grease here on your pin, and also the tiniest amount of anti-seize here on your threads. So I'll set the laptop camera / deal. Set it down. Have my brush with my grease. And just go like 1 dot, 2 dot. That's a little bit even more than I want, but whatever. Then I have my anti-seize. And I'll just kind of dot it on there. And I'm going to get it on my fingers, but I'm going to wipe my fingers off with a rag. Put the camera back down. Get my rag. Fix my camera. Put my pads back in. One. Oops, I just realized I'm not getting this on camera. Which this is all really easy stuff to do. I just doing it and trying to film it and talk about it at the same time is not as easy as it really looks. So if you know, you know. If you don't, then give me some slack. I'm just an amateur. That's why I only have 200 and something subscribers. Put my pin back in. Don't be an idiot and put the pin in the right way. It's late. It's getting late for me. Okay. Semi-tight. Pull my bolts out. Look at that. That's corrosion. So, look at that. The corrosion just kind of wipes off on my fingers. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of wipe it down. Put a little bit of grease on there. Or I'll put a little anti-seize on there. It'll be all right. Okay. So I got a little bit of anti-seize on there. Now, I gotta spray my brake pads with my flathead as best as I can. Even though they were already spread, but I'll spread them even farther because there's new brake pads and the gap needs to be even bigger. Slide it on the rota. Oh, you quit that. Quit fighting me. It's because I'm on camera. Isn't it? Isn't it? There we go. So slide it on. Oops. So now that that's tighten down the Allen. The pin on the Allen, don't go too crazy. It's not going to come off. If you go too crazy and everything heats up, you'll never get it off. Now I'm going to put a ton of anti-seize on the little cover because this is soft aluminum and you will strip it. If you tighten it too tight and you don't put anti-seize on it, it will strip. Ask me how I know. It sucks. Right? All right, now my fingers look like the Tin Man. It's got plenty of anti-seize on there. Get my flathead. And snug it up. Not too tight. Also, snug these up. And I will look at my manual and actually torque these. So I'll get my manual. Here's my lid. Here's my face. If I can find the torque specs. There we go. Front fork and upper protector. No. Front fork. No. Front brake, master cylinder, and bracket. That's some. No. Master cylinder is up top. Front brake caliper and front fork. There we go. 20 foot-pounds. All right. I have an inch-pound thing. Where's my phone? 20 times 12. $240 inches. Ka-ding. Torque wrench right here because I've been building that 125 engine. 240 and a 10 millimeter. Toke 'em. There we go. Front brakes. Done. Oh boy, it's making some noise. Pretty good. Cool. Yeah, buddy. What's up, Anthony? This is my 250. Here's the bike. The 125 is right behind it. And if you can see, it has no engine, but the engine is right there getting built. It's almost done. The bottom end's almost done. I lost the washer that goes right here. And I don't know if any old washer will work, and I'm not willing to take that risk, so I am ordering a brand new one. This thing's really close. Top end's over on the other bench. I haven't done much with it. I might actually get it ported. I don't know. The 125, no. Oh, your 125 drain plug stripped. Ooh, on the cases? I hope not. So. But, yeah, I'm actually, for this bike, thank you for saying that, because on this bike, on the 125, I'm actually going to order a new drain plug. Ooh, just throw that iPhone on the floor, Kevin. So. Oh, dude, definitely. We were so going to rip 125s. My favorite track to ride a 125 on, and I don't even like it, other than bringing my 125 there, MMX. MMX sand track is the ultimate 125 track in my opinion. E Street might be a little too gnarly for me on a 125. It's a little too gnarly for me on my 250 to be honest. But yeah. So anyway, I will go back to the rear brakes real quick because it's so easy to do. Way easier than the front ones, and the front ones aren't even hard. So here's the old ones. Oops. No voodoo magic on these. These are just, oops. These are just these are Yamaha OEM. I always run OEM brake pads. I've tried other brands, and I just went full circle and went back to OEM. But super, super easy. I just did it. These are brand new ones. And you don't even have to take the wheel off, the caliper off like I did on the one. So I'll just take these off and put them back on real quick. That. And my Allen wrench. All right. So you are going to take the cover off. Like I said, it's not that tight. Oh shoot, you can't even see anything. It's just the cover, the pin cover. There, I even set it on my laptop. Then, oh, sorry, before you even do that, stick your screwdriver in there, which is, make sure it's clean, and spread your brake pads apart off the rotor. Do that before you do anything, and I'm being extra careful because these are brand new ones. If they're old, you don't matter if you screw them up. Pop the pin off. The pin's already lubed up, ready to go. Pins out. Sorry about the glare. That's my LED light, but I can't see without it. Pins out. Let's see all the anti-seize on there. Not too much. You don't want it on your brake pads, but you'll learn. Pull the pads out. There's Schwan. Set it on my laptop. Drop the other one. There's two. And that's all it is. You literally, I didn't take the calipers right here, the wheels right here. So easy. Just stick your screwdriver in there and pry it open so it's off the rotor. And they'll only go in one way. So it's going to sit there. It'll kind of fall down. And the next one, same thing. Let it sit in there. Get your pin. And line them up. 1, 2. Allen wrench. A little snug, not too tight. It doesn't need to be crazy tight. Cover back on. Anti-seize and grease. One or the other, or both. Like, don't put any of this together dry, and don't do it too much, or it'll get on your pads. And just snug. Spin the thing. Your brakes won't work at first. Pump them. They'll eventually work. Yeah. All right. Time is it? 9:12. It's almost bedtime. I do have to change an air filter. I'll do an air filter real quick. Do I have a clean air filter ready to go? Ooh, I have to. Tomorrow's a new day. I have to make some gas too. Air filters are in the laundry room because I use no oil. Anthony Scappin. I know this is a random question, but is the back triple at Argyle MX sketchy? Only if it's windy. So, my YZ250, it has a 1 gear taller in the rear, so it comes stock with, I think, a 50. I run a 51, if that helps you. I click 4th gear, and I just hold it wide. And you don't go high at all, but it's a long jump. And also, I've tried it when I knew I wasn't going to have enough speed, and I hit it with everything I had and still came up short. And it's the most forgiving jump I've ever hit, one of them. So just go as far as you can go, and if you come up short, nothing's going to happen. Keep the bike straight, because you have to go really fast. Hit that thing as fast as you can go, and you might clear it. And I think you said you ride it 250F. So 250F is going to take everything you need. Hit it from the hit the corner on the outside. Either the top of 3rd gear, maybe click 4th. No, you don't. 5th. No, you don't need 5th gear. But yeah, so yeah, just try it. Like even double in everything at Argyle is really forgiving if you come up short. So if you don't think you can do it, but you're kind of thinking about it, over jump that double. It's flat. It basically, a double turns into a tabletop once you try to triple. So over jump that thing, and eventually do it when there's no wind. Don't even bother with it. If you're scared, and Argyle's always windy, try it unless it's windy. That's all I can say. 10 millimeter T handle. You got a 125. I have not hit it on my 125, but also I am 29 years old and I have this big old belly. I weigh about 213 pounds and I ride a 125. I have not fully committed to that back triple, but I have hit it as fast as I can and went pretty far. And most likely you're a teenager and you probably weigh no more than 160. You got it, dude. What 125 do you have? Yamaha or a Euro? Hi, honey. Almost bedtime. One race. One ride, one race. Fresh out of the washing machine. Yeah, I to get my bike ready for the weekend. No toil. We've been over this before. How many times, guys? Bottle half open. Dab all the way around the rim. I don't use rim grease. I know I should. I know it's optional. And for me, it's optional. Good night, honey. Have fun at D23. Text you in the morning. Fiance's watching live. That didn't make it much better, did it? Ooh. Okay. That's the rim. It's not perfect. Little gap there. But you can kind of spread it over. I hold it like this. Let me turn this stupid light. I can't. It's that light. Hey. I just put my hand in there and spread it open. I have my half lid. Push it. Turn the bottle upside down. And just rotate it. As far as my wrist will go, which isn't that far because I've broken both of them. So they don't rotate that far. Then I get it back where I started. Put it there. Rotate as far as my little wrist can go. See this little uniform line I'm getting? Walk it over. I got lost in the backward screen. Boom, one uniform line. Now I'll just walk it up a little bit more, right above it. Same thing. Whoops, I dripped a little bit on my floor, but that's okay. Got plenty of blood on my floor. I'm just going to keep walking all the way around. Not saying I know more than no toil. This is just how I do it because it's so easy. But I have actually flipped my air filter into that and done the same thing, and I get just as much on the outside. So I work my way all the way around. I go a little bit faster now because I need to go to bed. I got to be up at 5 a.m. for work. But I'll go all the way around. And now I'll just kind of dot the parts I missed. And kind of go over. It's going to look something like this, not so even, not so uniform. The rim has plenty, not too much on the inside yet, but when I go and I squeeze it, you can crumple it up, you could squeeze it, but never twist it. So you can do this all day long, and it's okay. And you can wash these and put them in the dryer, and they're okay. Just like Daniel Blair says, put them in there with your ladies' panties, and they'll never smell better. No technique at all. I'm just squeezing, not twisting. You could even go like this and kind of knead it in the rim. But look, the inside, and you can't see too well, but I can tell, it's starting to get saturated. The outside's all nice and uniform. That's how I do it. My bikes are still running. Let's see. Put it inside out. Yeah. Yeah, you could kind of see how it bled through, especially in that rim where it's glued. So, but that's what I was saying is you can totally put it inside out and then do the same exact thing. But I only ride my air filters until they get about this dirty. And look, so you can see the inside. It's all clean, a little splotchy because it's been sitting, and also it got pressure washed. I didn't use my no-toil wash kit last time I did it. But yeah. Of course, Riverfront MX is a very fun track. That's basically all I've ridden this year since I started riding it after I broke my leg. I'm towards the end of a racing series there, so really that's all I'm riding. It is so much fun. It's a really safe track. It's forgiving if you don't clear all the jumps. An awesome thing is it's obviously if you're from Massachusetts, you're used to the cold, so California is really hot. We practice Tuesdays and Thursday nights there and also race the summer series Saturday nights. So we kind of beat the heat doing that. So if you haven't been there, you need to go there. Absolutely, for sure. And then also, obviously, if you follow sport or motocross, you need to go ride Hangtown, which is not called Hangtown. It's actually called Prairie City, the national track. The national is called Hangtown, but we all call it Hangtown. And you need to go ride there because who doesn't want to ride a pro track? I take a clean plastic bag and put the filter in with the oil and work all the oil into it and then throw the bag away after. And yeah, that's another way to do it. I used to do that too. The only problem I had with that is there's so much extra oil that I feel like I'm kind of wasting it. Like I would do the same thing. I would just dump the thing in like a gallon Ziploc bag and do that. But I use so much oil. Like I feel like the way I do it, none extra drips on the ground. And it's like I showed you. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but there was quite a bit that went into the inside of the filter. And I just feel like I get the most bang for my buck that way. So, and luckily, since I've been racing for so many years, I haven't had to buy any no-toil for quite a long time. I get chain lube from, prizes from finishing the series, and then I get plenty of oil and cleaner and stuff. So, one more cool thing I'll show you. So these run out pretty quick. I could probably get like four wash things, four washes. This isn't cleaner. This is oil. 4 jobs out of it. And what I do is because this is way easier to manipulate the way I do it. This is like harder to control. So it's how many? 64 ounces. So all I did, without trying to spill anything on my laptop, is I poked 2 holes. I have a pilot hole for air and one for flowing. Shake it up first, because it will separate. So this is pretty empty. I'll just fill it back up like that. Oops. Oops. So I haven't had to buy one of the small ones in forever just because I keep refilling it up with my little method here. And now this thing's full. And that one's still pretty full. And since I took my gloves off and I was touching that stuff, still got a little sticky. All right, yeah, let's see. All right, I took the clean. Yeah, he said that's true. A lot of wasted oil, but it's a fast way to do it. I just buy the disposable these days. Yeah, the I don't know if you mean Pro Filter by Disposable, which Mathis is like endorsing or whatever. He gives those to listeners that call in, but otherwise, you maybe were talking about the no toil pre-oiled filters, which are absolutely not disposable. I have a few of those too. They just come pre-oiled, but I feel like the ones that you buy that are not pre-oiled are a little bit. They seem a little bit bigger, like they're easier to put on the air filter cage, and also they feel like they're a little bit better quality. But yeah, that's definitely a way to go, especially if you're not worried about it and you want to burn some money or whatever. Or maybe to you it's not burning money, but you could buy a pre-oiled one and toss it out when you're done. But yeah, that's how I do it. So, and I'm not trying to say my way is the best way or it's better than your bag method or whatever. But also, like last year when I did Triple Crown, we did practice Friday, racing Saturday, and racing Sunday. So it was 3 days of riding. I didn't exactly know what the track conditions were going to be, so I had a fresh air filter in my bike, and then I oiled my air filters exactly the way I just showed you, but when I was done, I put them in a Ziploc bag to preserve them. And so I had, a new one for every day, but I think I only ended up using one. Well, two technically. So I took one out after practice was done, and then I used the same one for racing Saturday and Sunday. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're going to keep them in the bag, give them some time to take out of the bag, put them in your bike, and like the night before. Like, I mean, today's only Thursday, so I'm not going to ride Friday. I'm not going to ride Saturday. I'm riding Sunday. But at least like the night before, take that thing out of the bag because the oil is mixed with the alcohol, and the alcohol needs time to evaporate to become like really sticky. So keep that in mind. But and then especially if the green one is water based, so it's water mixed with the oil, so it takes even longer than the red stuff to dry out. So because like putting that on and going riding, like if I were to ride right now, it's not going to do any good. It's not that sticky. It needs to evaporate and set in. So, but yeah, I think that's it for now. It's 9:30. I gotta hop in the shower and go to bed and get up at 5. So that's all I'm gonna do tonight. I'm not even gonna put the seat back on because I still need to mix a little bit of race gas and stuff. If you're even curious about that, I'm not gonna film it because it's just mixing race gas. I take half race gas, which I run Sunoco 110 leaded, and then I mix it with 91 California crap pump gas, and then I use Motul 800 at 32 to 1, which is what the factory calls for, and that's all I do. So half pump gas, half 91, which is the highest octane California has to offer, And 32 to 1 Motul 800. That's it. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Good night.